Welcome back to Cryptocurrency Worldwide. Today, we're diving deep into the future of Bitcoin. What does the price hold for 2024, 2025, and even 2030? Will it reach new heights or face unexpected challenges? Join us as we explore expert predictions, market trends, and the key factors driving Bitcoin's future. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any updates. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency, created by pseudonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009. At the time, it was also the first use of blockchain technology. Bitcoin was largely worthless during the first several years of its existence, but started to gain traction from 2013 to 2015. In 2017, the first Bitcoin boom saw the price of BTC rise to more than $15,000. Subsequent booms in 2019 and 2021 saw BTC hit new record highs. In 2021, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of $68,789.63. However, it fell as low as $15,760 in December 2022 in the midst of the so-called crypto winter that had been impacted by numerous macroeconomic factors such as rising inflation, the Russia-Ukraine war and energy crisis, the collapse of Terra and FTX. Starting in January 2023, BTC staged a turnaround. The coin gained 83% by April 10th, when it hit a high of $31,035. This price also represented a break above a key resistance level around $30,000. Between April and the end of July, Bitcoin traded at around $30,000, almost touching $32,000 with positive sentiment amid a wave of spot Bitcoin ETFs being applied for from the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity. Bitcoin suffered a sharp drop in mid-August, losing over 10% of its value in a week and bottoming out at $25,000. Another drop then followed in mid-September, although the $25,000 resistance line was not broken. October saw BTC trade between $26,000 and $29,500, and flirt with $30,000 on one occasion thanks to a false report of an approved Bitcoin ETF. This report saw the start of a rise in Bitcoin's price that continued on the back of Bitcoin ETF speculation. Bitcoin finished 2023 above $42,000, marking a 155% year-on-year rise. Bitcoin climbed above $45,000 January 2024 in anticipation of Bitcoin ETF approval, with the SEC expected to approve multiple Bitcoin ETFs at the same time. Despite the SEC's official X account being hacked a day before approval, all 11 Bitcoin ETF applications were approved on January 10th. Bitcoin's immediate price action was muted, and the price of world's top cryptocurrency actually declined, dipping below $40,000 less than 2 weeks after Bitcoin ETF approval. Bitcoin then started an upward movement that saw it gain 43% in February, and break through its all-time from November 2021 on March 5, 2024. The world's biggest cryptocurrency broke above the $70,000 level for the first time on March 8, before retracing. On the 11th of March, Bitcoin closed above $70,000 for the first time in history. It also climbed above $72,000 to surpassing silver to become the world's 8th most valuable asset. After 4 days trading above $70,000, hitting its current all-time high of $73,750.07 on March 14, Bitcoin dipped, finding support at $61,500 on March 20, before beginning to climb the charts again. It was priced at $66,036.57 at the time of writing. Bitcoin price prediction 2024. Bitcoin started the new year with a bang, trading above $45,000 in January for the first time in 2 years. It was then driven to a new all-time high of $73,750.07 in mid-March, on the back of the continued inflow of institutional money into Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin spot ETFs are estimated to be one of the two major catalysts driving the price of Bitcoin and the whole crypto space in 2024, with Glassnode projecting around $70 billion of new capital will enter the crypto market via the new Bitcoin ETFs. The U.S. Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, has also said that crypto markets are in need of a formal regulatory authority, and cryptocurrency regulation is actively being discussed by regulators and governments around the world. The implementation of such regulations would provide clarity for institutional investors and, potentially, bring even more of them into the market. There is an altogether bigger shadow looming over Bitcoin in 2024, and that is the 2024 Bitcoin halving event. Some analysts expect this to be the catalyst that takes the Bitcoin price into six-figure territory, while others are forecasting that it will be the precursor to a correction. While all this is going on, developers are busy launching Layer 2 protocols for Bitcoin, building on the emergence and popularity of Bitcoin inscriptions from last year, which could also be a catalyst for increased network activity and, as a result, an increased demand for Bitcoin. The combination of the positive reception of Bitcoin ETFs in early 2024, continued growth in the utility of the Bitcoin network through Layer 2s and inscriptions, and the approaching halving create a hugely positive outlook for BTC in 2024. This leads us to predict that the price of Bitcoin could break $85,000 in 2024, although there is also some analyst sentiment that BTC is due for a major correction before this happens. In a worst-case scenario for Bitcoin investors, BTC could test its support at $38,000. What is a Bitcoin halving? New Bitcoin is created with each new block, and it is given to the miner as a reward for creating that block. This reward currently stands at 6.25 Bitcoin. So, every 10 minutes a block is created and the miner who created it receives 6.25 newly minted Bitcoin. Every 210,000 blocks, approximately every 4 years, this reward amount is slashed in half. This event is called the Bitcoin halving. This time around, the reward for creating a Bitcoin block will be cut from 6.25 to 3.125. This is predicted to take place around April 19th and 20th th. We say predicted because the exact time is determined by the block number, and blocks are produced approximately every 10 minutes, so it is difficult to predict the exact time of the halving until we are very close, but we can predict the day quite closely. Why have a Bitcoin halving? Bitcoin has a finite supply. There can only ever be a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins, and there are currently 19.66 M in circulation. The value of a Bitcoin, as with other assets, is determined by supply and demand. Controlling the releases of the yet-to-be-mined coins helps to balance the supply and demand, as it prevents the market from being flooded by supply, instead providing a known supply constraint as demand increases over time. 3 elements can be said to be at play with the Bitcoin halving mechanism. Avoids high levels of inflation by steadily reducing the quantity of new Bitcoins released over time. Makes Bitcoin more scarce as time continues, because eventually, all the Bitcoin in existence will be in existence. This preserves its long-term value and further protects against inflation, a problem seen with fiat currencies throughout the world. Maintains a supply of rewards, incentives, for miners to continue operating over a much longer period, until around 2140. Bitcoin halving events will continue to happen approximately every 4 years until the last of Bitcoin's maximum supply of 21 million has been mined. It's estimated that all available BTC will be mined by 2140. Before the first halving in 2012, Bitcoin saw a 50% increase in price. In the 18 months after the second halving, in 2016, Bitcoin saw a 3,000% increase in price, almost touching $20,000 for the first time. After the third halving, and despite a global pandemic, in May 2020, Bitcoin rallied to a peak of $64,898 within a year and hit its all-time high $68,789 within 7 months of that. Looking forward to the 2024, and, as a result of the inflow of institutional money into Bitcoin in early 2024, Bitcoin has broken its previous all-time high prior to the halving event, meaning that this year could be different. JP Morgan predict that Bitcoin could dip to $42,000 post-halving, and other analysts are also calling for a dip that is then followed by a rally above $100,000 by the end of the year. We predict that Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high of $85,000 in 2024, however, this also comes alongside a predicted low of $38,000 for Bitcoin in 2024. As for an average price, we expect Bitcoin to consolidate around previous all-time highs during the year, and predict that Bitcoin's average price for 2024 will be $60,000. Bitcoin price forecast 2025. The effects of the Bitcoin halving event will continue well into 2025, and, if everything aligns, Bitcoin has the potential to break that elusive $100,000 barrier. But what is everything else? Everything else includes the improvement macroeconomic factors. If the global economy improves and inflation decreases to the target of 2%, then interest rates, that saw aggressive hikes in 2023, could come down in 2025 if they haven't already been reduced in late 2024. Regulatory clarity for all of crypto could also lead more and more investors to be confident investing in crypto for the first time, and many of these investors are likely to add Bitcoin to their portfolio due to its prominence in the markets and how synonymous it is with cryptocurrencies. Furthermore, greater regulation of the crypto market could see institutional funds, like retirement funds, be permitted to add Bitcoin to their portfolios, allowing trillions of dollars that are currently not permitted to invest in Bitcoin to do so.
Currently, Fidelity is the only major US 401 plan provider to offer direct Bitcoin investment. There is, however, the influence of the Bitcoin halving event, which typically results in new all-time highs 12 to 18 months after the event itself, a hugely positive boost to what already looks to be a positive 2025 for Bitcoin. Combining all these factors, we predict that Bitcoin will find lows of $50,000 in 2025, along with highs of $102,000, as it manages to break the hugely psychological milestone of $100,000 before retracing below it. We also expect Bitcoin to have an average price of $65,000 throughout 2025. What could happen to BTC in 2026? If the Bitcoin halving highs come in 2025, we could see the prices bottom out in early to mid-2026. However, as all the major catalysts of the next 2 years are bound to bring more liquidity in Bitcoin, it is likely that the bottom will be higher than what we've seen in the previous years. With that said, we expect Bitcoin to trade no lower than $45,000 in 2026 with a maximum price of $90,000. That means the average Bitcoin price in 2026 is likely to hover around $67,500, based on our estimates. Experts at Coinpedia are more optimistic for the year and see Bitcoin trading between $82,522 and $155,284, while Arthur Hayes, the founder of BitMEX, believes Bitcoin will hit $700,000 in 2026. 2030 Bitcoin price prediction. Looking ahead to 2030, our Bitcoin price forecast becomes less certain. There is a lot that can happen in 6 years, particularly in an industry as fast-moving as crypto. 8 years ago, Bitcoin was priced around $600. That said, we expect Bitcoin's value to continue to grow. It could benefit from the introduction of central bank digital currencies, which should encourage a broader transition to payments using digital assets. By 2030, Bitcoin will have gone through another halving event, in 2028, and this will affect price predictions for 2030, as well as the availability of Bitcoins, especially as we expect them to increase in popularity by this time. As stated, it is difficult to predict what will happen with Bitcoin due to newness of cryptocurrencies and the ever-evolving regulatory, financial, and technological landscape. That being said, our 2030 Bitcoin price prediction expects the price to have steadied somewhat, with a low of $95,000, a high of $160,000, and an average price of $127,000. Bitcoin is a major global asset, and some of the smartest analysts in the world spend their days thinking about where this cryptocurrency could go next. Here are several diverse predictions from crypto analysts and institutional investment firms. Cryptocurrency data firm CoinCodex developed Bitcoin Rainbow Chart, which predicts Bitcoin price to reach up to $427,000 by the end of 2025. The analysis is based on Bitcoin's past volatility and cyclical nature of Bitcoin halving events, which introduce extra supply-side pressure on Bitcoin every 4 years. ARK Invest CEO, Cathie Wood, has a base price prediction of $600,000 for Bitcoin in 2030. However, her bull case prediction contains a high of $1.5 million per Bitcoin, recently up from $1 million after the approval of Bitcoin ETFs. Mike McGlone, senior commodity analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence, told CryptoBrokerageCapital.com that Bitcoin could reach $100,000 by 2030. McGlone sees rising demand combining with BTC scarcity to send the price of Bitcoin higher. The head of research of CoinShares, a European alternative assets manager specializing in digital assets, predicts a price of $141,000 for Bitcoin in 2025 if a Bitcoin ETF is approved in the USA. Crypto analyst Cesare Graff sees significant risks ahead for Bitcoin. He predicted that if either Tether, the largest stablecoin, or Binance, the largest crypto exchange, were to collapse, then Bitcoin could fall as low as $2,700. Charles Edwards, a crypto analyst and founder of Capriole Investments, predicts that Bitcoin could reach $100,000 in the next 12 months. His prediction is based on what he calls a bump-and-run pattern on the Bitcoin price chart, which is a bullish pattern that only requires Bitcoin to remain above $22,000. We predict a bullish long-term future for Bitcoin, especially with the upcoming Bitcoin halving in early 2024, which has historically been a major catalyst for crypto bull runs. The approval of spot Bitcoin EFTs have also provided a major catalyst for the crypto market in 2024, with Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs in March and the whole crypto market more than doubling in value YoY to $2.55 trillion. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let me know your predictions for Bitcoin in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more crypto insights and updates. Until next time, keep investing wisely.